Now let me show you quickly some examples. The first one we did actually film exactly 1 year ago. It was for a German client of us. It was like a proper movie set production with stuntmen and so on. And the thing is, even if it's German here, let me quickly explain the script about it. So basically, what was happening that this was kind of like a teaser for rebranding. I had a small cameo in it because people in German market know me. It was basically a lot of irony about this personal brand where he makes fun kind of like of himself from outsider perspective. Because what I figured out in the research that in this market, a lot of people were talking always very highly of themselves, saying like, we're the best, we're the biggest, and so on and so on. So what you usually want to do that, or one great thing to stand out, you want to do counter positioning. So doing basically the opposite what everybody else does. And by that, you're standing out. So we paired this together with a funny video script, a lot of irony, a little bit of unexpectedness, and a movie set production, putting it together in a reel. Worked well, 10 million views, 11,000 likes, and a lot of comments. The next trailer was a little bit more complicated, kind of like my Christopher Nolan wannabe moment, but it was basically for the same client, and it was about rebranding, and it was a little bit more emotional. What I did there, first of all, I analyzed what the target audience likes this personal brand. That this guy, he likes to talk very straight and talks also about problems, and he also got a lot of resonance on social media organically by talking about all the problems, like the political problems in Germany and so on. So I captured this. And on the other hand, he was in a rebranding process. So we developed a new logo for him and like a new corporate identity so that he evolves. And we wanted to display this as well. And we did it in an artistic way that there are like 3 separate timelines. An internal timeline, basically, that's very abstract. It stands for what is internally happen if you're an entrepreneur and you want to move on in the next stage, but you need to face your own shadow to overcome your own limits, like the internal dialogue, then the outsider perspective, and what is actually happening in his company. Same thing here. Also, I think, 10 million views, 9,000 likes, and 700 comments. The third video was again something funny with another protagonist. Also, as you see, movie set production. And this kind, it was again counter positioning. It was funny. It was a lot of irony in it. It was a dialogue between this guy and another person in his company to introduce this other person as also an authority, to transfer authority to him. And if you're a personal brand, you want to kind of assemble your Avengers team. Because as you know from Marvel's Avengers, if there are multiple people with different superpowers, it's always more interesting than just one. The next one was also movie set production, kind of like motivational, inspirational monologue over 5 minutes. It was very on point what the audience was using as vocabulary. That's why it has 2.7 million views, 4,000 likes, and 400 comments. The next one was for another client. As you can see, like this was about e-com consulting company. And here we made fun, basically, what happens if you die and land into a fictive, unreal e-com heaven in the conversation about it. And we were making jokes about all the common stereotypes that are existing in dropshipping, how bad e-commerce is being executed and so on. And was also very successful, 3.2 million views, 4,000 likes and comments. The next video was something about AI, also like longer videos. So as you can see, these videos always like between 3 and 5 minutes long, and they tell a unique POV of a problem of the audience and combining then multiple aspects with it. Like the most multi-dimensional, I would say, is this one. The most complicated, the others are relatively straight, easy, and forward. But that was not the only ones we did. We also did these ones, like I said, for my own company, Pressmaster AI. Here you can see the Giga Chat. Originally, he was at Love Island, UK. And we thought, okay, let's make the ultimate cringeception for a content generation tool. Basically, we built a thought amplification engine, a category that didn't exist yet because we overjumped multiple evolutionary steps. But how do we explain this to people? We bring it down to the closest thing available, which is content generation. So we started basically with this meme, which we run, and it ran pretty well. And then we iterated from there on. Okay, we saw this meme got a lot of interaction. It resonated well. let's use this learning and make a real video out of that. And on every aspect, make it maximum cringe so that you can get maximum attention and people watch it. And this video went absolutely nuts on all channels where we run it, most on LinkedIn, because it is actually about LinkedIn. As you can see here, I just raw dogged 5 minutes on LinkedIn, and then like the typical LinkedIn posts and problems, my hamster died, here's what I learned about it for B2B sales. Stuff like that. We made absolutely fun of it, and it went absolutely bonkers. It was absolutely amazing. These examples were all media productions. Does it have to be always media production? No. You can use a part of a 10-minute YouTube videos, and maybe it's like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute long, but it has to be fitting. Here's another example from myself and Mike Thurston, a podcast we did roughly 1.5 years ago. This whole podcast was 60 minutes long, and this clip is 30 seconds long. We took this clip and applied the KFC framework, and this has in total, I think, 20,000 likes, 6-7 million views on all social media channels, and is working absolutely evergreen. The other one is one I recorded by myself as well a couple months ago. Simple script reel. I did it in 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, filmed with a camera, and that's it. Cut it properly.